All I want for Christmas is a new effing job. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm Ethan Van Sciver, and it is Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to all of you. A third wave of job cuts in the new year for DC Comics and Warner's. That means DC Comics Bloodbath Part 3. And Rich Johnson at Bleeding Cool announces it. He's got his ear to the ground. But of course, we've told you right here on this channel that this was going to happen. They're going to continue to narrow DC Comics down to a little sliver of what it used to be. A squeaking little gerbil, as Tony Soprano once suggested. That is what's on its way. Rich Johnson reminds us here. DC Comics and all of Warner's have suffered 2 waves of job cuts in 2020, including senior and long-standing company members. I mean, executives, people who were important, people who I knew when I worked there for 20 years. These people knew how to make comic books. They knew what they were doing. They didn't always do the kind of comics that everybody wanted. They didn't always succeed. New 52 started out kind of exciting and did very well on sales, and then slowly petered out into nothingness. A lot of the stuff, come to think of it, a lot of the stuff that that they put out when I was working there was crap. But in any case, they still knew how to do comics. And right now they have fired, AT&T has fired everyone. Everyone who had been there for years, for decades, who had experience. And from what we understand, the word that I'm getting from people who are still inside and trying to work, what is left over right now are, people who normally get your coffee for you. The people who, assistants to the assistant editors are left. They're usually girls, young women. That's what I've been told. And they don't know what they're doing, and they're absolutely terrified. Now, one creator who is working at DC Comics, a rather large name, told me in confidence that he was fully expecting this to happen, this third wave of job cuts. It would be devastating. And he just said, look, I don't think anything that I'm working on right now, he's like, nobody's fired me from my jobs, the comic books that I'm producing right now. So I'm just going to finish them. He said, I'm just going to get them done really quick before Christmas and get paid, because I think that this stuff's going to get canceled, and I don't think any of it's ever going to be published anyway. They just don't have the ability to publish these comics. And I don't think they really want to. I don't think they really want to publish anything from the old guard at this point. So everybody's just kind of finishing things out. This is it. All right, so on Christmas, amazing how correct we are on this channel. We just hear bits and pieces of news. We report it to you. We use our common sense, and it turns out that we're right, despite what everyone else says. All right, so 2 pushes. Look, we lost Mark Chiarello, John Cunningham, Eddie Scannell, and of course Dan DiDio. That was actually the first. That was like pre-Bloodbath. All of these people were fired, and it was incredibly strange, especially Mark Chiarello and Dan DiDio. Now, Dan DiDio was, getting rid of the executive and replacing him is not all that strange. Of course, you might want to change the direction the company's going in, and that means you're going to have to fire the head. But Mark Chiarello was really weird, because Mark Chiarello was the art director, and he was the senior art director. He knew exactly what he was doing. He had great contacts with everybody. He was a senior vice president as well. He had actually had a bigger title. Why were these guys fired? I think they were fired because of their high paychecks. I think they were fired because of their high salaries. And that's it. I mean, there was no thought given to, hey, we need these guys to produce great comics. I don't think AT&T cares about producing great comics. I know this is a shock to everybody who listens to my channel. They say, no, everything's going to be fine. AT&T does not care. And when AT&T does not care about producing comic books and fires all of the major talent, all of the people who are being paid to produce the comic books that people have come to expect from DC Comics, you know where things are going. I mean, you know. All right, so Dan DiDio, this was the first, so Dan DiDio was fired, and then this was the first wave of firings. This was Bloodbath 1, and again, every single one of these people, I mean, this is, oh my gosh, we can't lose you, we can't lose you, we can't lose you, fuck you, we can't lose you, we can't lose you, oh my God, all these people, big names, big important jobs, probably overpaid. They probably were fired because their salaries were too high. Andy Corey, of course, I said F you to, because he is an SJW who hired Zoe Quinn and other just heinous, odious SJWs. He gave them work at DC Comics, and we couldn't wait for him to lose his job. He lost his job. That's great. And this is Bloodbath Part 2 that happened just in November. Adam Phillips, Stuart Schreck, oh my God, no. Sandy Yee, Lizette, Michelle Wells was very strange. She was going to be doing the young adult line, okay? And they hired her. They hired her, and then 3 months later, they fired her. We thought that her employment and her elevation to co-editor-in-chief at DC Comics was going to mean that DC Comics was going to produce more crazy crap like I Am Not Starfire. And if you want to see my videos about I Am Not Starfire, that will that will freak you out, the direction that DC was planning on going in. No, fired. Alex Carr, fired. Vince Laterio, how could you, fired? And there were more than this. This is not, there were more people that were fired besides this. Each time DC Comics lost centuries of experience and knowledge. Yeah, I know, but you know what? The centuries of experience and knowledge allowed social justice warriors to come in, turn their comic books into pamphlets of propaganda about identity politics, about, everything is about identity, your skin color, everything. I was thinking the other day, I was talking to a friend, I was like, you know what the ultimate power in the SJW universe would be? And check this out, okay? Like, the ultimate individual, the person with the most power in any SJW run society would be a Muslim or Muslim. I pronounce it Muslim because of Barack Obama. I should not do that. Muslim, lesbian, in a wheelchair, who was transgendered. That person there would be worshipped. A transgendered Muslim lesbian in a wheelchair would be the ultimate power in the universe. Now, these people subscribe to all of that. They believe in the progressive stack. These people allowed DC Comics to become a reflection of those sick, weird beliefs. And so it doesn't matter how much experience and knowledge they have. They were losing money. Fans were walking away. And this is the end result of that. They had to sell themselves to AT&T, and AT&T just said, we don't need you. We don't want your debt. We don't want your debt. Get out of here. We don't want to publish comics. What we want to do is we want to start a streaming service called HBO Max, and we want to put Wonder Woman 84 on the streaming service the same day as we release it into theaters, and then lose $100 million on it, which is what it's looking like will happen. Wonder Woman 84 is probably going to lose tens of millions of dollars. All right, so this is it. They put out a book, funny enough, called Bloodbath, Part 1 of 2, Part 2 of 2. Well, get ready for Part 3 of 2. It's coming, according to Rich Johnson, and of course, according to this channel, too. It is inevitable. DC Comics is going to cut even more people. They've cut their line down from 100 books to 34 books a month, and it's going to be cut down again, guys. I promise you, it's going to happen this year. The line of books that they put out, DC Comics will trickle out about 12 books a month, and all of that's going to happen in 2021. And at the end of 2021, is DC Comics still going to be publishing comics? Some retailers have said, I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't know. We'll see how comfortable they get just publishing 12 comics a month, and if they can kind of go under the radar of AT&T. But look, it's just not. Even if that is the case, even if they publish 12 comic books for the rest of the rest of time, the comic book industry is not sustainable at this point. It's not sustainable under those circumstances. It is untenable. And retailers are going to have to switch to selling manga and to selling YA novels, to selling more pop figurines, more toys, and more back issues. But, new stuff coming out, not going to be something that they are particularly going to be invested in. And that also means that comic book professionals, these creatives, these weirdos who don't want conservatives, they don't want you. If you're a conservative, if you have any viewpoints, if you voted for Trump or your viewpoints are right of center or even right of far left, They don't want your money. I promise you, they don't want your money. They don't even think you exist, and yet they're all opening up tins of cat food for dinner tonight on Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you, you wise and wonderful people who support this channel. Merry Christmas to you guys who have subscribed or are planning to subscribe to this channel to beat YouTube's deliberate suppression of channels with messages like mine. Merry Christmas to those of you who ring the bell for notifications, hit like, share these videos. Merry Christmas to those of you who have backed Cyberfrog comic books or who have bought Cyberfrog comics from our eBay store, Rainbow Brute, or our new book, Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. I'm going to put an ad after this video. Merry Christmas to all of you, from our family to yours, from All Caps Comics to you, and we hope you're having a great day. We'll keep an eye on this, and I'll let you know what the results of all of this are. But what a horrible way to ring in Christmas and the New Year, knowing that your job is pretty tenuous, and I don't know. Who do you want to blame for this? I could give you some ideas. Thanks, everyone. See you again soon with another video. New from All Caps Comics, Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell. The victim of a genocidal massacre has somehow returned from the dead and is carving a path of death across the heart of America. Driven by the echoes of silent screams, this is the story of a man once known as Black Dog, the one now forever known as the Snowman. Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell, back it today, only on Indiegogo. Hey, I got a P.O. box. Want to send me some mail? Send it to Ethan Van Sciver, P.O. Box 607, Marlton, New Jersey, 08053. And I'll probably open it up on the live stream. Thanks very much, everyone. Hey, you want to follow me on Twitter? Are you sure? Well, if so, I'm at Ethan Van Sciver. That's at Ethan Van Sciver. See you there.